Okay, I'm Ted Miller. We have a couple BenQ TVs that we're using right now, or interactive displays, and we're looking to get more use out of them to use them towards their fullest potential. So I'm just here to watch and see if I can learn a little bit more.
Okay, great. And are you guys currently in person at school out there?
For the most part, yes. We do have some students that are studying from home.
Okay, but it's the majority is in person?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you, appreciate it.
Bill, Romeo actually popped into the question and answer section, and he said he is Romeo from Carroll University. How are you?
Okay, great. And we've met at EduCause, and I think we've talked recently since then. So the next one would be, there's a few Lee Thompsons, so I'm just gonna, if any of them want to pipe up, they can. Otherwise, I'll go to Kathleen Moore. Welcome, Kathleen. What we're doing is just...
Kathy Moore. I'm Director of Technology and Professional Development for North Central Ohio Educational Service Center. And I have some BenQ boards in one of our developmentally disabilities facilities. And it's been going fairly well. They're newer boards for me, so it's been a little bit of a learning curve. But one of the things that we're working on is being able to use a Zoom with the BenQ and doing a wireless connection from the computers to the BenQ boards, and that's working great. So just looking forward to learning some more things about BenQ.
Oh yeah, my name's Michael Webben at NC State University with Delta. I'm just participating to learn more about BenQ and to see what everything's all about. Get some good advice, suggestions, and knowledge.
Great, great. Yeah, appreciate you joining us. So you have one board, I believe, right, so far? Kellen's from Camcor in Libertyville, which is kind of the town next to mine.
All right, I'll jump in. I think we might have two Brandons on the call. I'm not sure, but I am Brandon Pope at
Thank you.
State, and it doesn't look like the hybrid classroom is going away. So we're going to be, you know, for the future. It's here for the long haul. So I'm just here to see how BenQ fits in and benefits in that space.
Okay, great, great. Appreciate your time.
All right, so I am Sarah Harrison, and I am one of our tech leaders and teachers at Wawasee, and that's in north central-ish Indiana. We have quite a few BenQs, K-12, and have been working with them for 3-ish years.
Okay, great, great. And she'll probably chime in a little bit about how she's doing some hybrid distance learning at her school a little after Brian does his little piece. And then it looks like Trevor Hope's jumped on. Trevor, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you'd like to get out of this session? Okay, so what we'll do, let me go over the agenda. Sorry, Trevor, we can't hear you, but there's the chat box. Everybody feel free to use the chat box during Ryan's at any time, really. But so what we'll do is we've introduced everybody. The agenda, I'll tell you a little bit about BenQ, and then I'm going to turn it over to Ryan for about a 7.5-minute presentation. And during that time, feel free to ask questions in the chat box. And then at the end, we'll answer the questions. And then if there's any things you want to know how to do, Ryan will be able to demo those for you. And then if we don't have a lot of questions, we'll have them show us a little bit on how to do cloud whiteboarding, the record feature, our account management system, and how it connects to the cloud, and how you can save files to the cloud for your remote users. So I at least want to hit those up, as well as any questions you people may have. So just to give you a little bit about BenQ, we're actually the #1 DLP projector in the world, #2 projector overall behind Epson, but we're very strong in some other countries, and we're building up our market share here. As far as interactive flat panels, we're in the top 7. I don't know our exact market share, but they're very reliable. We have a lot of differentiators versus the competitors. We have safety, security, and simplicity as our 3 taglines that we use. The safety includes health. We've got the only panel on the market that has an antimicrobial screen, which is great for especially the younger kids touching the board, touching their hands. You know, we've had this is our 3rd generation panel with this technology. This is before COVID. We can't say it's stopped COVID, but if my kids were going to a school, my young kids were going to a school and we're going to touch a board, I would want it to be the BenQ with the antibacterial on it. We also have low blue light, which reduces age-related macular degeneration, as well as affects melatonin production and can affect sleeping patterns if you're looking at it all day. And also our panels are flicker-free, which is brought up from our gaming monitors, which a lot of the gamers use when they're gaming 12 hours at a time. The fast refresh rate reduces eye fatigue. And so speaking of the gaming monitors, back here you'll see I've got a BenQ Zowie XL 2411p gaming monitor. So at the end of the session, we're gonna do a random, using the randomizer, we're gonna select somebody to win the esports gaming monitor. So you've got to be here at the end to qualify to win it, but we'll be doing that at the end. So it's a little incentive to stick around. Our service and support is great on the panels. We offer white glove service if you want that, where we'll take the old panel down and put the new panel up. And my wife's making something in the background, so I'm going to turn it over here to Ryan, and then we'll come back for some Q&A, but feel free to ask questions as we're going along.
Hi, sorry guys, good morning. This is Carly. I'm also with BenQ. I do marketing for Bill and the rest of the education line. Just really quickly, as we get ready to go into the live demo, I just want to remind everybody that your microphones will be turned off at that point. If you have any questions, make sure you post them in the Q&A section or in the chat session. We will follow up with them during the live portion after the demo. Additionally, if you are on a cellular device, make sure that that you're someplace that has good Wi-Fi, because the video can have issues or be turned off due to cellular capabilities. So if for some reason you have an issue with the video as we go into the live demo, because we are going to a separate location with the live studio, just know that you'll receive within 24 hours of this session, you'll receive a copy of this webinar, so you can always go back and refresh your memory after the fact. Or if you have to jump off a little bit early, any Q&A that maybe you missed would be available in that recording that will be coming to you as well. So at this time, as Bill gets ready to turn it over to Ryan in the Dallas studio, just know that your cameras need to be off on your devices for better video quality, and your audio will be turned off during this next 7 or 8 minute session for the demo.
Great, thanks Carly, and apologize about my wife making food in the background.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I'm Ryan. I'm a field application engineer with BenQ America. My main role with BenQ here is to explain how our products work. And today we will be going over what exactly a hybrid classroom is, why it's important, and how you can take advantage of this new way of thinking to prepare your classroom for the future during these uncertain and ever-changing times. Let's start with the obvious question first. What exactly is a hybrid classroom? When we think of hybrid, you think of cars that are able to run on gas or electricity. These vehicles are able to offer efficiency of running on electricity while offering the flexibility and convenience of also being able to run on gas when you need it. Similar, the hybrid classroom model we will be discussing is based on the research that Dr. Reyes published in Computers and Education earlier this year. It addresses the need for both in-person learning and remote learning in the classroom without sacrificing the quality of education for either group. Hybrid classroom extends that same concept of flexibility to the classroom, providing a seamless experience whether students are in the classroom or learning remotely from home. And with ever-changing environment that we're in, now more than ever, it's important to offer students stability and reliability in their lessons. So the approach that Dr. Reyes used can be adapted to most current classrooms with some modifications that will make it easier to implement and relatively inexpensive whenever you use BenQ classroom technology. All right, so now there's two main ways that we can accomplish this with BenQ. The first is with screen mirroring to show our interactive flat panel both locally and remotely learning students. This is great if we want to share whiteboard content, allow local and remote students to collaborate while also being able to share the teacher's computer screen. Let's take a look. All right, so now I've connected my phone to the board itself, and you can see everything that happens on the board happens on my phone right away. So that's one way to actually share the BenQ board back to a device remotely. So the second way is with screen casting, which allows us to control our PC, Chromebook, or Apple laptop from the touchscreen without all the cables or hassles. Let me show you this method. So now, that quick and easy, I was able to actually open up a PowerPoint from my PC and put it onto the BenQ board. Also, I'm able to interact with the slides themselves and even edit the slides right away on the board that saves back on my PC. So that quick and easy to use it. And the great thing about both of those methods is they can be used with any video conferencing platform and any computer operating system. Zoom, Google Meets, Teams, this setup works with all of them. BenQ, we believe in an open source cloud-based platform. We believe the teacher knows the best way to reach their students. We've designed our products with that in mind. So now we have our students taken care of, whether they're in the classroom or learning from home or a revolving, changing combination of both. But what about our teachers? What happens if a room is closed for remodeling or it's running behind due to scheduling issues? What if an entire wing of school needs to be temporarily closed for a deep clean? Well, BenQ has the answer for that too. Using our proprietary NFC login technology, you can log into any BenQ board on campus with one easy swipe. Now, teachers don't have to fight for a particular board in a room, changing settings. You can actually see that this automatically pulled up my personal wallpaper, my pinned apps and widgets, even bookmarks, right to this board. And it can log into any board on campus with that one touch swipe. So another thing that you get with this login is your cloud services. Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, they all follow you around. Now you don't have to sit there fumbling with USBs and forgotten passwords. And so now, as you can see, I have immediate access to my Google Drives. So it's all available right at my fingertips. Another thing is safety. Safety is absolutely paramount at BenQ, and our product design reflects that. Every RP series board, like this one, is infused with an antimicrobial ionic silver coating, which kills up to 99% of germs and helps provide an extra layer of protection to both teachers and students. And not only can I open my cloud files, I can also provide a collaborative whiteboard space that allows students in both the classroom and remote to interact with the same whiteboard space. We're only a few easy clicks away from providing a whiteboard that is easy to access from anywhere. So let me grab my phone again. I'm going to open up our easywrite software, and then I'm going to invite you to my room. So I just take out my phone, scan the code, type my name in, and hit join. And that quick and easy, I was able to join my phone with what's happening on this board. So if I start writing and annotating here, it literally shows up on your phone right away. And you can have this on any browser and interact with the teacher. But guess what? The teacher has to come over here, tap the co-creation mode, and now it enables me from my mobile device to actually write on the board. There we go. That quick and easy to have a full collaboration environment from the BenQ board. Lastly, I'd like to share with you one important feature. Now we realize that some of you have been working with previous generation boards from other manufacturers, and you've invested a lot of time into your smart notebooks and your active inspired lessons. And that's okay. You can absolutely bring those with you. Our open source platform allows you to keep using those lessons seamlessly with your BenQ board. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to open up InstaShare. Since I have my PC connected, I can actually go to my PC, open it up, And let me find, where's my smart notebook? There we go. So this is my smart notebook. So I've literally turned the board into a smart notebook, and it lets me interact with it just like if I was had a smart board up here. And I do this very basic lesson here, and boom, good to go. So it's that quick and easy to just turn this board into a smart notebook, Active Inspire, whatever you want to put on here. All right, let me close that out. Yeah, not only does this work with Smart Notebook and all of them, but your BenQ board is also designed that works with any program that you put on your computer. Because as you can see, whatever was on my computer, you can put on the board and still control your computer back. So that's BenQ's solution for the hybrid classroom. Students receive a seamless learning experience, whether in class or at home, and teachers have the flexibility to be able to teach from any class on campus and access their cloud storage with one swipe. So thank you so much for your time. With that, let's open it for questions.
Okay, thanks, Ryan. Is everybody able to hear the sound?
Yes.
Okay, great. Ooh. I could hear you there for sure. Okay, let's go into the chat box. Did people have questions in there?
Now I can see we have a question from Lee Thompson that is asking the BenQ whiteboard page conversion to PDF. Could you explain that a little bit further?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I'm Sean Colvin. I'm Classroom Services Manager with NC State. So currently with the Smart Notebook, we're able to convert Smart Notebook files to PDF form to be uploaded along with the recorded lectures. And I think I have an idea. I know that the board can do it, but if it can be demonstrated, that would be awesome.
Yeah, great. Ryan, since you're at the board, would you be able to, do you have a PDF that you can import into easywrite? Is that what you're thinking?
No, rather convert the whiteboard annotations to a PDF file.
Oh, okay. So save as a PDF. Okay.
Correct.
Yep. Ryan, could you show that real quickly? I would also show, while you're at it, maybe just show converting the handwriting to text. And, you know, maybe even a little app or something. Yep. Ryan, I shared the screen with you. Hopefully when you...
There it goes.
Okay. Great, great. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, so I can change my background here, for instance. I'm just changing it to like a blackboard, like an old school blackboard. But real quick, I want to show you the lasso tool here. I circle my name that I just wrote, hit the magic button. It recognizes it as text. So you can use it there as an actual object right on top of. Make it super huge, super small, whatever you want. It also does objects. So if I need to circle my name, terrible handwriting, circle that. It might turn into basically kind of an oval, but now I have something I could put in front of my name here. So that's the recognition tool here down at the bottom. And so just real quick for easywrite, we want to make sure that anybody that walks up to the board can figure out what easywrite can do very quickly. So that's why we break it up into 3 little sections here of what you save and how you share, and then your tools, and then your background. So your question was, can we record while a PDF is showing? Is that correct?
But
no.
I think
just like on,
he wanted you to save a file, like, you know, write your name like you did, and then save it as a PDF.
yeah, so back over here, you can see I have a save option. It's still a floppy disk for some reason. Tap that and you can see it gives me 2 options to save as a PDF or as separate pictures, which is a PNG file. It's a very flexible file. So once I tap all the different up to 16 pages that I have, I can confirm and it finds the different areas that I can save. So I can save to my folder or network drive, and then what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to log in with Tom's card. So also, by the way, that's how fast you can actually change accounts, and you're unlimited on the number of people that can log into a certain board. And
right. So,
see the whole
so you could go to any board at the district or university, and your data from your cloud will follow you for security rather than leaving it on the panel. That's one of the
Yeah.
nice things. And I know when Sarah talks a little bit, when they record a session, she saves it to their Google Drive, I believe, shared drive.
Yeah. Exactly. So now that I'm actually logged in, like you will be, is I have access to my Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive actually with Microsoft once I link it here, and I can go directly into whatever folder I need to drop my lesson for the day in as a PDF or as a PNG file. So you can see how quick it is to actually drop it into wherever you want. But yeah, so that's just how you do it from this option here on easywrite. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And did I hear you say up to 16 pages?
Yes, on easywrite, it has 16 pages here on the right-hand side. Once you reach the 16 pages, I mean, you can write, let me show you something real quick. You can actually write and erase really quick. So if you just have stuff that you're keeping temporarily, a big palm eraser, you can have another page right away, or you can save it to the cloud. Also, by the way, there's another option on this part for share, and you can print with local printing. You can email it, or you can do a QR code. Same thing, you can save as a PDF or PNG file and hit share. With this, what that means is that you're actually generating one-time use QR code that you can scan with your phone. Students can scan with their phone and save it to their personal device, so you guys don't have to worry about teachers needing to email the lesson from easywrite out at the end of the day. So it's done right there, and it's the student's responsibility. So it's another really, really cool option that we have.
And even remote, at least in the cloud whiteboarding, you can scan it on your phone. Right, and then save it if a student was remote. That works. I don't know if that works with this, but it works. We can show that when we get to the cloud.
Yeah, so we do have another option down here. So please, participants, take out your phones. And I'm going to invite you into my room here. So with this, we have a QR code, and you can scan it with your iPhone or a QR code reader with Android. And what it'll do is take you to a website. So even if you don't have a phone, mobile device as a student, you can type in that easywrite.benq.com and enter the room ID. I'm doing that on my phone right now. It just takes a second. And then, just like I was showing earlier, is the cloud whiteboarding. So I'm on a mobile device. I'm actually on a hotspot right now, so it's a little bit slow for me, but I can start writing. I can start writing here, and it shows up literally on my phone right away. And at the very bottom of your screen, you can see that you have tools, but they're all opaque because I have not given you the option right now to do co-creation. So if I do tap this co-creation option, all of your tools come alive, basically. So now I can write on my phone on the board, and you can send pictures, sticky notes, all kinds of different stuff from wherever you are. So I'm here in Texas, and you're wherever you are, and we're able to actually have a full collaboration experience with the easywrite software. So it's a super cool option. And then if I go back into the this button right here, I can hit broadcast or co-creation at any time. So like I was saying, if I hit stop activities to your save point, oh, somebody's uploading a picture. On your phone, it shows online whiteboarding is closed. Now you can save in the top left-hand corner. It lets you save what we've done today directly on your device. So again, teachers don't have to worry about sending out the information once again. But yeah. What other questions do you have?
Well, we had a question that was entered by Kathleen Moore. She says she connects wirelessly a laptop to the board. She can't interact from the board. Specifically, she can't click on the PowerPoint slides to interact in advance. So I think she's asking about the touchback feature.
Okay, so Kathleen, what we have on the back of the boards is an HDMI cable, like your typical display, but then we have a touch cable that comes with each board. So it's basically a printer USB cable that needs to be plugged in right next to that HDMI for it to have touchback. So plug it into there and plug it into your PC. If you want to get around that, we do have an app on the board called InstaShare. And as long as you're on the same Wi-Fi network, you can download this very small app called InstaShare on your PC or MacBook, or even you can add it to your Chromebook and wirelessly cast it to the board, and then have wireless touchback from there. So you literally don't have to plug any cables into the board itself. It's all used through Wi-Fi. So that's built into every.
I did use InstaShare and I still couldn't interact. So what did I possibly not do correctly?
Are you what kind of device are you using?
We're doing the 652K.
Is that a PC?
Oh, I'm sorry, device. I've tried both on a Mac and a Windows 10 machine.
Okay, well, it sounds like you just need a firmware or like a basic update for the board. We can go through that later on.
Okay, I did that as well. I did all the updates on the board.
I think at least for Windows, if you go, you might have to go into Windows and enable, like if you go to tablet PC mode and then click allow touch. You know, we can do a little troubleshooting. Yeah, we can try a little troubleshooting.
Okay.
Hey Ryan, can you maybe capture a little piece of that tower there and
Sure.
show how you can export that into easywrite? You know, this could be any screen, this could be a web page, any document you have up.
Yeah, so what we do is something called a floating tool. So if you take a peace sign basically with your fingers, hold it up to the board for 2 seconds, it brings up our floating annotation tool. So this has a lot of cool little options for you. So for instance, I can actually annotate on top of anything. I'm just on a basic little home page of the Android software. And then you can click the little camera guy here. Something appears around the entire screen, but you can take 4 fingers, kind of like an old director would do, and then piece out a certain area of the screen to capture. So you can actually take a screenshot and save it, or you can click the easy button. It snips it for you and then directs it directly into easywrite for you to annotate and continue teaching on. So you can snip a web page, for instance, that you want to see or something there, and then have it on easywrite so you can continue your lesson in there. That's a really cool little feature. Yeah, what other questions we have? Let's dig in here. What's going on?
Okay. Another question that we have is they were asking, they're seeing you use both the tool and your finger. Does it matter as far as thickness of whether or not you're using the stylus or your finger?
So normally there's no problem with any type of thickness with something that's relatively thick. Like we have a pretty thick little stylus that comes with it. Like this is my finger, for instance, using it. This is many fingers. We do have an option here with the palm eraser, like I was telling you, for a large surface to start erasing like this, just basically wiping it off with your hand. So we do have another option here on the settings down here if you want to turn off the palm eraser and then enable what's called paintbrush mode. So this is kind of a cool little thing you can play with. This nothing special about this little goofy paintbrush, but I can actually start painting whatever I want in multiple thicknesses within the same brush stroke. So it's a really cool feature. You can upload your own special coloring book background and then paint funny hats on animals if you want. So that's one thing that you get with the different thicknesses that we see. But initially, throughout the entire board, except for easywrite, it doesn't matter what the thickness is for selecting. So there you go.
Yeah, we do have 2 pens, one with a thin tip, one with a thick pen. There's a dual pen mode where you can write in 2 different thicknesses at the same time. Another time that turning off that palm eraser works is with special needs. I know we had somebody with special needs students. You know, I had a special needs student that was kind of had to hold onto the board with their hand and write with their other finger. And we came up with this palm eraser feature so they could do that. Another special needs application will be you can Also mirror from your device. If you have bad vision, you can mirror onto a Chromebook or PC or iPad, phone, obviously. And a student with hearing or a visual impairment will be able to see that. Or the other way, if someone's in a wheelchair and can't get up, they can cast what's on their notebook to the screen. And then there's also height adjustable wall mounts and mobile carts that can be used.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say if we had other questions, but go ahead, Carly, jump in.
We do. We had a question. They use Google Meet. Can you talk about how Google Meet would integrate with our boards or with the classroom environment for using it at the same time with the board?
Yeah, so the best way is InstaShare. You can actually download a Chrome browser, for instance, because we're open source. I have Chrome here, for instance. I have Zoom. I have quizzes. You can put whatever type of app on the board, except for Google apps, because they are very, very picky. So nobody with large boards like us, no other manufacturer has Google Play Store, so they really lock it down. What we do to get around that is we have our InstaShare app. So with this guy, you can cast your Mac, PC, or Chromebook, and then you can more fluidly use your type of Google software. So Google Classrooms, Google Meets, any of that works much better with InstaShare. Kind of like what I'm doing right now is I have my PC connected with our GoToWebinar and a webcam. The same thing can happen. I'm mirroring this back over the air to you guys. So basically I'm screencasting this board via InstaShare back to GoToWebinar that you guys can all see in full screen. So it's a really cool hybrid situation that you have with InstaShare and any other app. So even if you guys encounter teachers that use smartboards or some old legacy software, or they have their whole curriculum built already and they want to use that on their PC, hey, InstaShare up to the board, and then they can use their PC as the full software that they're totally comfortable with. So, and even if that classroom changes to somebody who wants to use the board with the swipe login, with the Google Drive linking, you can do that, because that's what we're seeing a lot is like teachers are shifting around and moving things. This is flexible for either way to teach. So there you go.
And then kind of going along with the question regarding apps, this question was specifically about Google Apps, but you've kind of tapped on it. They want to know any apps that maybe you have downloaded. And I know in the people are going to ask what apps can be downloaded, then how do you get access to them? How do they follow you from board to board with your card that you're logging in and out with?
Well, apps can be downloaded on the board locally if you IT administrators allow it. There's like a little back end thing that I can show you later on once we get some boards. So you can allow or disallow teachers to download their own apps. Or we have this little fancy guy here called DMS, Device Management Solution, and it's a back end management for IT tech people that you can remote in. It's a website basically. It's cloud-based, so you don't have to be on campus or anywhere else to see all the boards. You can put them in categories and groups of, high school, middle school, science, whatever, third grade. You can put them in categories. Then you can push firmware updates remotely. And if a teacher calls you and is like, hey, I need quizzes, for instance, or Kahoot on my board, all you have to do is Google Kahoot space APK. That's an open source Android platform that is gigantic. There's like millions of apps that are out there for it. And then you can push that app remotely from wherever you are in your PJs from the time we have here. So it's a really cool situation that we give you with the board. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and mention everything that we say, talk about the board. There's no hidden fees, costs, licensing, subscriptions, anything. So once you get the price from Bill and everybody he knows, that's the price you pay. So we're not charging you for your backend management like some other people do. You get to have it. With that backend management, let me go ahead and piggyback on this quick support. I don't know if anybody is familiar with TeamViewer or AnyDesk thing where you can log into PCs remotely. We made quick support with TeamViewer. So if a teacher is just going crazy, they can't figure it out, just give them a call, and say, hey, what's your TeamViewer number? You type it into TeamViewer, and then you take full remote control of our board, and you can solve any problem from there. So it literally appears on your PC, just like those type of remoting in softwares work. So that's also free with the price of the board. So anything you get is all included.
As far as the question and answer chat section, we have answered all the questions. Are there any live questions that we can answer for you guys at this point? Turn your microphone on.
Can we let Sarah talk a little bit about what she's doing at her district?
Good morning, ladies and gents. So Wawasee, we are mostly in person, but we do have some students that are virtual, and we have some students that go in and out of being virtual as they're in quarantine. So one of the great features that we use with our BenQ boards that was not available to us last spring because we weren't in the buildings is the ability to record what's going on directly on the screen with really good audio. We have older boards. I said ours are, what, 3-4 years old now. But the audio is still wonderful. Being able to do a lesson completely up and record it, and then being able to post that out for students has been very advantageous for our students that are in quarantine or our students who are not able to attend classes with us. So typically we will open up a Google Meet for our students. We're completely a Google school. So we'll open up a Google Meet, and sometimes we'll set our device on front of a table and be able to present out. So that way students are able to see our screen in live version also. So it kind of depends on the teacher and what it is that they have flow-wise works best for their classrooms. One of the other features that we have been able to enjoy was just the antimicrobial piece, and that's well before COVID started. But that was one of the reasons that we went with BenQ, and ours are K to 12 through our building. So our little kids, they can wipe their hand across and be able to go up to the BenQ and not have major fears. Yes, we still clean them. Yes, we still take care of them, but just having that touch has been an additional point. And then the use of having multiple students up on the board when that was a thing that we could actually do, and having the multiple touch points in comparison to what some of the other smart boards could do has been important for us when we were able to get up and interact directly with the board.
Great. And where do you save the lessons that you record? Was that on the Google Drive? Or
some of our teachers, we put them on flash drives and then upload them into Google Drive. Then we post those once they're rendered, we post those up into Google Classroom.
Okay, great. Did anybody have any questions for Sarah? Hey, Ryan, do you mind quickly demonstrating the record feature on the BenQ panel?
Sure.
And we'd point out too that, real quick, sorry, Ryan, but now we have 8 noise canceling mics on the new RPO2 panels. I think probably Sarah has maybe 4, I'm guessing. So I think there's going to be improvement on that quality. We also have a built-in front-facing sound bar with a subwoofer on it for in-classroom. Doesn't help you that much remotely, but when they do get back, for the ones that are in the classroom, it's helpful.
Yeah,
and also, also when at YOSC, we've got HDMI on our panels, and YOSC goes HDMI out from a BenQ panel to just a regular, dumb panel, but so more students can see it across the room, which I thought was a nice setup. But we could also set up 2 touch panels back and forth to collaborate. So I just want to kind of point that out.
We do have some of our classrooms that have are on mobile carts that we set up to in our larger rooms. So that is something that we do, especially we'll do that during staff meetings, but we do have some of our classrooms that are joint.
Okay, great. Yeah, and that could go to a large projector or another panel. Or you could go to Twitch, and then if you wanted to broadcast out a lesson, that might work for the distance learning. So sorry, Ryan.
No, it's okay. So an easywrite.
One more thing. No, just kidding.
What? No, come on.
Just kidding.
No, that's all good. So this is our RP01 series, and they have mics here and here, and also two on this side. So what Bill was mentioning is our new O2 series, which is super cool, and we're going to get one soon in the office here. Is they have 8 array mics down here at the very bottom, and we've tested those, and they sound really awesome, even from far away. So to capture your recording, with your recording feature is right here, and whenever you tap that, it shows that you're recording up in the top right-hand corner. All right, so what's actually really great about this is that you don't have to be in easywrite to record. So if I hit the home screen, you can see that it is still recording in the right-hand corner. If I go into Firefox, you can see just a generic web browser, it's still recording. So with this, no matter where you are, if you want to talk about like a Wikipedia page, for instance, you can do that and have a full lesson recorded, sent out to your students for future use, for whenever they actually can attend class, so you don't have to be in front of everybody individually based on their schedule. It's super cool. So you can also take your 2-finger touch, press and hold, and you bring up your easy wheel, and you can stop your recording from here at any point. So, and it shows you where it goes inside of the internal storage, so you can move it back over to your cloud to send out. So the recording feature is really awesome, and it's even better on the O2 series with the better mics and faster processor. So it's a really cool option for you, for all you teachers, for your remote learning students.
And you could have annotated too when you had the 2-finger touch up before you saved it, and it'll record the savings, the voice, anything that shows up on the device for lesson capture.
Yep, full. It's basically a huge screen capture. Yeah.
Any questions pop up lately that we haven't answered?
Not on the Q&A. So if I'm sorry. It's asking a question. They're saying they sanitize their screens with alcohol. With your antimicrobial screens, is it necessary to do that?
It's not necessary. So we have certifications, by the way, from the Germans that show that after 24 hours, the amount of, like we did like strep throat, we did all the bad guys of the bacteria that stick to any surface. So in 24 hours, the amount of germs decreased by 98%. So literally that's not enough for it to even come back alive. So that's why we can call it antimicrobial with the surface that's right on top here. We do recommend, because of fingerprints and just smudges and things, you can clean it with any type of basic alcohol. We recommend at least 70% isopropyl rubbing alcohol and a microfiber cloth, or just a microfiber cloth to get the smudges off. So this one I've hardly ever cleaned and it looks pretty good. So it's like maybe once a week thing at the most to keep it clean.
Okay. Any other questions, or is anybody on that didn't get to introduce themselves? And then we'll do the drawing. Okay. So yeah, Ryan, can you pull up the randomizer then? And then I don't know if Carly, if you can see the attendee list. If you could pull up how many attendees are on right now, we'll make it 1 to that number.
Everybody got assigned a number?
We have, they haven't been assigned a number, but we have We still have on at this point 17. So yes.
Well,
But we have
it's-
multiple people who've logged in as Lee Thompson. I think they
Yeah.
shared a login. So let's do 1 through 11, and we'll go from there. And I'm also on the Q&A section. I'm getting ready to post for you guys the access to our video on how to clean your BenQ panel for reference as well. So make sure if that's something that you're interested in, that you guys check that out as well.
All right, so also, yeah, that's good. Okay. So 1 to 11, so it'll just be in that order that you see in the chat box. So if you can just go ahead and hit that start, and nobody jumps off, it'll work.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Number 8. Lucky number 8. Who is
Okay,
that,
so
Carly?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It's one of the Lee Thompsons, the one that asked the question earlier. So I know that was someone else on Lee Thompson's.
That would be me.
Can you tell us again what your name was? I'm sorry, I didn't write it down when we were chatting earlier.
Sean Colvin.
Sean Colvin. All right, Sean, if you can send me a message via chat with an email address for you. I know we have it somewhere, but since you logged in as Lee Thompson, so we can arrange to have that delivered.
Okay, you said via chat on.
Or via the questions. You can send it either way. That's fine.
Okay, name and email address.
Yeah. There we go. I don't have an email address. I just have your name.
And Sarah will get you something as well.
We go.
For helping us out.
Perfect. What we'll do is I will, I'm capturing this right now, Sean, and someone from our team, well, actually Bill, since the monitor is there with him, will reach out to you directly to arrange for delivery.
Yep.
That was great. Thank you so much.
Yep. So, any other questions from anybody? Well, I hope everybody got something out of this. Hope it was worth your time. Sarah, thanks for helping. We'll get you something. So I'll shoot you an email and see what you want. Yep. All right. So if there's no more questions, I guess we'll give you guys 8 more minutes in your day. So thanks for attending, everybody.
Thanks, Bill. Bye.
Yep. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Carly.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good rest of your day.